this is Waterlily716 or Sarah, and today I want to talk about shedding, breakage, and hair loss. And now I'm going to define these three things differently and sort of talk about what you can do to prevent them, what's normal, what's abnormal, and all that jazz. Yeah, so the reason I'm making this video is because hair loss is kind of a really frequently asked question I get. I get it a ton of times in my videos or messages or whatever, and people just wonder if the amount of hair that they are losing is normal. And I get a lot of people that seem to think that they are just losing way too much hair. There's like a cat in heat out there or something, I don't know, but outside my window. But I just want to go through and explain that most of the time you have a normal amount of hair loss. Now, go ahead and define. Now, first of all, there's shedding, and this is the term that's usually used for a normal amount of hair loss. And this is completely normal, and it's normal to lose anywhere. I've heard a lot of different estimates online, but I've heard anywhere from 50 to 150 hairs a day. Now, keep in mind, if you have curly hair and you're watching this, that because of the nature of curly hair and the way that it lies and curls up and spirals around, it's going to keep the majority of the hairs inside the mass of your hair. So it's not going to fall out until you wet it down and comb it. That's why I think I get so many questions from people, because when you comb curly hair in the shower, you get a massive hairball. And it's sometimes, for some people, it's kind of like, oh my god, I'm going bald. My senora saw my hairball in the trash the other day, and she was just like, does that happen to you every time you shower? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you're gonna be bald, you're gonna be bald. And I'm like, no, it's just my hair. And she's like, you're gonna be bald, you're gonna be bald. Because she has straight hair. My senora being my woman that I like live in her house here in Spain. But yeah, so it's completely normal to lose a big hairball, especially the thicker your hair is and the longer your hair is. So just keep that in mind. And something else that you can tell if it's shedding is that you're going to lose pretty much the full length of your hair. But keep in mind that most people have different lengths of hair, whether it be baby hairs or hairs growing in. And another thing, besides being the full length, usually at the end of the strand, usually you're going to have a white bulb because it's been pulled out of your scalp. Because the hair is naturally falling out. Because if you guys know this, I don't know the exact terms for the cycle, but your hair goes through stages where it sheds hair and then grows new hair. Every time you shed hair, just remember the new ones are growing in. It's like trees. If they cut down a bunch of trees, they gotta plant some new ones. And one way you can check to see whether you think that your hair is getting thinner, what you could do is, this is a good way to measure the thickness of your hair anyways, like regardless, is put your hair in a ponytail and then take a measuring tape and measure the circumference of the ponytail, and you'll be able to tell how thick your hair is. If you measure it like a month later and it's gone down, maybe you have some lossage of hair. But generally, unless you see like bald patches on your scalp or on your edges, you're not having an abnormal amount of shedding. So then the next thing I want to talk about is breakage. Now, breakage is when your hair is breaking off in the middle of the strand, or you're just yanking it out of your scalp. But usually what you see is it breaking off in the middle of the strand. And this is not very normal. I know for some people it's probably more normal than others. You get just a little bit, but a lot of breakage is not normal. And breakage is caused usually by weaker hairs. And we can't prevent it completely because our hair just goes through stress. It's the nature of having hair. So it's just caused by weak hair, which is caused by somewhat damaged hair. This can be caused by manipulation, combing, heat, chemicals, the sun. Anything that can cause damage to your hair can cause it to be a little weaker and break. And generally, if you see these hairs, they shouldn't have the white bulbs on them. You should have it like just a plain end of the hair. And usually that means that you're experiencing breakage. Now, most people don't experience this a lot, but if you have highly damaged hair, like hair that's been bleached too many times, had too many chemical treatments, then literally the hair will start breaking off. Also, if you have way too much protein, or sometimes the hair will get very, very starchy and start to break, or if you don't have quite enough protein, it can be really easy. So in order to prevent breakage, what you're going to do is detangle gently, use low manipulation styles, be gentle when you style your hair, and avoid sources for damage. Avoid putting heat on your hair, avoid putting chemicals on your hair. And last of all, I put eat a healthy diet and take some hair and nail supplements, because what you put in your body, water too, can help push it. Just in general, try to keep your hair's protein amount and moisture amount balanced, so you can do protein treatments and moisture treatments to help strengthen and moisturize your hair, because very, very dry hair is prone to breakage as well. And then we get to what I'm just going to call hair loss, although technically to me these all kind of sound like hair loss, but the way I'm going to define hair loss is as abnormal hair loss, where you are losing a lot of hair at once. Now this is not caused by how you treat your hair. It is usually caused by something your whole body is going through, which is why for this I recommend you go to a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Go to a trichologist who specializes in the scalp and the hair. Go to a doctor, because if you feel like clumps and clumps of your hair are going out and you can see it thinning around your edges, if you feel like you're getting bald patches, and if you think you might have one of these possible medical causes I'm going to tell you, just go to a doctor, and they'll be able to tell you, because there are a ton of medical causes for hair loss. Our hair reflects what our body's going through. So I'm just going to read off a couple of possible medical causes for hair loss. I'm going to read them off mayoclinic.com, but these are possible causes for hair loss, but it doesn't mean that the way you manipulate your hair, being manipulated loss, can't cause breakage. But these are just listed on the website. So hormonal things like going through your menstrual cycle, birth control changes, or menopause could cause strange things with your hair. Pregnancy, I know. Postpartum shedding is a big thing. Before you have a baby. Heredity, illness, or stress can really cause you to lose a lot of hair if it's a large amount, and a lot of medications, and then major surgeries or chemo. Obviously, my mother did chemo and all her hair fell out, and then it came back in really curly. And then there are a couple specific medical conditions: thyroid problems, alopecia, scalp infections, other skin disorders. It says a physical or emotional shock, hair pulling disorder. This mental illness causes people to have an irresistible urge to pull their hair out. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so there are a lot of medical causes that your hair could be falling out. So I am not a doctor. Both my parents are, but I'm not. So please go to a doctor if you think you have a serious problem. But it is most likely that, like most people, you have a normal amount of shedding. If you think your hair is breaking off, give a good protein treatment and good moisture treatment and give it some tender loving care, and you should be fine. That is all I have to say about this subject of hair loss, and I hope this answers your guys' questions and kind of gets rid of the myth that if you're losing hair in the shower and you're pulling out hair, it's normal. You're not just like losing hair that's never coming back, because it is going to come back. So yeah, just be calm, stay calm, use logic. And yeah, that's all I have to say about hair loss. And if you have any more questions, you can post them below. Mainly about shedding or breakage, because like I said, I don't give medical advice, just hair advice. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!